Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lydia Kyle, and if you're new here, I am an avid reader, book collector, book lover, and every single month I love to share with you guys exactly what books I read, why I enjoyed them, or why I didn't enjoy them. This is the month of February, and as you can see, we have a few things to talk about, including some highly anticipated releases. Before we jump into the reviews for February, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you're a new subscriber, let me know in the comments. I love to connect with fellow readers. Let me know what your favorite book was in the month of February. As always, I start these videos by saying my reviews and my opinions are mine alone. If you disagree with something that I've said about a book that you loved or hated, that's okay. We're allowed to have differing opinions. However, I'd love to discuss differing opinions in the comments section, but let's keep it polite and understand that there are millions of books in the world, which means there's plenty for everyone to enjoy and plenty for everyone to not enjoy. First book of the month is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This was an incredibly anticipated release. I'm not gonna lie, I had this pre-ordered, so yes, I did get the pretty sprayed edges on the special edition. This book, I was a little bit on the fence about it. I was excited because I liked the concept, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it because a lot of times I don't really like Ali Hazelwood. I've read several of her books. I have another of her books to review this month as well, and I wasn't quite sure if this was gonna be my jam. It was. I did really enjoy this. There were times where I felt a little bit bored and I felt like, okay, this is dragging on a little bit, okay? And I don't necessarily like a third act, I won't call it a breakup, but like a separation due to life circumstances. I didn't really enjoy that, but the story itself, I did enjoy. And I really love the female main character in this one. A lot of times Ali Hazelwood's female main characters, I don't resonate with them. This one, I did. I really liked this female main character. And the spice, very well written. Godsgrave by Kristoff. This was my only DNF of the month of February, and I was shocked that it was a DNF for me. This is book 2 in the Nevernight trilogy. I loved book 1. I loved book 1. There were a few red flags for me, but I loved the storytelling and I love Kristoff as an author. I was shocked that I couldn't finish this one, but if I'm being completely honest, it was just too dark for me. And I DNF'd it within the first 50 pages. I just decided that it didn't sit well with me. It wasn't my jam. It was too dark. It was reading a little bit more like horror to me, and it just made me uneasy. It was leaning more towards demonic, and I just couldn't go there with the author. So I DNF'd Godsgrave, which means that I DNF'd the Nevernight trilogy by Kristoff, which is wild because I love Kristoff as an author. I told you that we had another Ali Hazelwood this month. We do. We have Check and Mate. This was a book club read. I run a private Instagram book club. You can join by subscribing to my Instagram channel. It is women only, but you're welcome to join. We read all different genres. That's the point of the book club. Every single month is a different genre. Obviously for February, we did romance, and we did romance, adult romance, and young adult romance. And this was going to be our adult romance until we realized this is marketed as young adult. And a lot of us were very confused because we're like, Ali Hazelwood, young adult, what? I wanted to love this book. Young adult or adult, I wanted to love this book. I loved the concept of this book. It's about chess players, rival chess players. It was boring. It was boring. And I wish it wasn't. And also, I would argue that this is not young adult. The characters in this book, they are over the age of 18, and there is intimacy on page. It may not be as explicit as something like Deep End from Ali Hazelwood, but there is intimacy on scene, on page. And these characters are over the age of 18. So I'm really confused why this was marketed as young adult, and frankly, it was boring. Probably my biggest letdown of the month. I did finish this one. This is Rebel Witch. It is book 2 in the duology, The Crimson Moth. The first book is The Heartless Hunter. Now, I will say, I didn't love the first book, but it wasn't bad. It just felt a little bit okay to me. All right, but the characters were captivating. The romance was okay. And I felt like there was a lot of potential for book 2. Book 2 was a total flop. This is a flop. It drug on forever. The major plot twist was given away within like the first 30 pages of the book, and it was so predictable that it made the rest of the book feel absolutely pointless. And the miscommunication trope in this How long can you drag on a miscommunication trope? This just went on for too long. The enemies to lovers went on for too long. And this was another one that I am shocked is being marketed as young adult. This is not young adult, in my opinion. It could be new adult, but this is not young adult. And I'm really concerned by the classification of these books because once again, these characters are not in the young adult category themselves, and there is intimacy on page. Okay, since I was hating on the young adult romance category so much, I thought we should end on a positive note. Last book of February. This is true young adult romance. This is I Hope This Doesn't Find You by Liang, and it is phenomenal. It is quirky. The banter is great. I resonated so much with the female main character. Even as an adult now, looking back, I remembered feeling the way that the female main character felt. My only criticism is I kind of wish that this had a dual POV because I wanted to know more about the male main character, but I do understand why the author focused on our female main character because it's her story. It's a coming of age story, if anything else. The romance is there to just bolster it, but this is true young adult romance. Nothing explicit, no polarizing topics, very vanilla in the sense that there's a kiss. And it's a great kiss, but it's very chaste and it's very age appropriate. I wish I would have found this, although it wasn't released, when I was in high school. I would have loved this book when I was in high school. This is probably one of the best young adult romances that I've ever read. Okay, there you have it. That's February. If you guys have any opinions about the things that I rated, let me know what they are. If you agree or disagree, or if you read something in February that you absolutely loved, tell me in the comments. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have, thank you. I'll see you guys back for more bookish content in the next video.